When you think about Rockefeller Center, you think about New York City. This project, for me, is going to be, you say Brickell City Centre, that's Miami. So for me, it'll be a landmark. It'll be something that you could recognize the city with.
If you look at our photos of the Miami of yesteryear, say the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, every decade has defined itself in the city of Miami. This is very much in line with the Miami of today, the Miami of the 20 teens.
It's going to be a huge landmark in Miami, and it's been forecast for the past 5 years as the premier project.
So Brickell City Centre is basically a brand new village within Brickell Village. It starts close to the Miami River. So here we have residential towers, we have office towers, we have hotel, and then we have retail, and we have the underground component.
We're broken up into 3 blocks. The north block, the east block, and the west block. It looks like, if you were to look at it from above, it looks like a big L. And in the north block, you have a condominium building, and then you have what they call the retail podium.
One which we call the West Block, which is consisting of a condo tower, an office building, and the retail portion, with Saks Fifth, which is going into there as the anchor tenant. Then you've got the East Block, which is the anchor portion of the project.
So East Block is office building, it's a hotel, and then it's also your podium as well, which is another 5 stories of outdoor retail.
And spanning all of this is what we now refer to as the sculpture of the project, which is the climate ribbon, which is really a beautiful, I think, iconic piece.
It's very architecturally pleasing. It's very slow moving, flowing very nicely. It looks like a bunch of waves coming together.
In my opinion, the climate ribbon is an art piece. The climate ribbon to me is Brickell City Centre. It's what's really defined this as separate and apart from every other development in Miami. So our team is very proud to be part of this particular development in downtown Miami.
You have the Performing Arts Center, that's a great project that's not too old. You have the arena that's not too old. Now you have this spectacular project that's just gonna, reshape Brickell. This project here, it just puts Miami on the map.
Definitely the largest project in Miami, probably one of the largest projects in the Southeast United States. And it is a challenge.
The composition of it and what it's bringing in to the project is just, it says Miami, the wave-like feel of the fabric. It says water, it says sea, it says Miami.
So the climate ribbon, the easiest way to describe it, it's basically an enormous structural steel canopy with glass on top, fritted glass, and with fabric.
It's a beautiful combination of art and technology. It spans all 3 blocks. The size of it is pretty impressive when you go out there and look at it.
When they developed it, they took a ribbon, they frumbled it up, and when you let it go, you see all the different angles.
So the climate ribbon basically follows the path of our bridges that connect from the north to the east and then the east to the west, as well as cover the open areas of the project, because the entire retail area is open air.
Looking down on it, you see this massive structure, glass with all kinds of curves and angles, and above you just see a glass canopy. It's like, how did they do this? Not only just building it, but actually envisioning it to bring it to what it is.
If you get off on the Metro Mover station on 8th Street Station, which runs right past the Brickell City Centre, part of our Brickell City Centre development includes the improvement and remodeling of the 8th Street Metro Mover station. You get off the station and you're going to look up and you're going to see wonder. You're really going to be in awe of the area.
They'll come off the people mover, go up one flight of stairs onto the promenade level, and what they'll see is the climate ribbon where it basically starts, and they'll have this vision of the whole project with all of the concourse at that level, the restaurants, the shops, a koi pond that will be below them. So it'll be quite an impressive view, actually.
So when you walk on the shopping, the promenade, the retail area, and you look up, you'll see typically 4 different components of the climate ribbon. One is the main structural steel, which is called the delta beams on the perimeter.
Delta beams are the exterior beams, kind of hold everything together, and it's just the artistic main beam, so to speak.
You've got the beams connecting the delta beams, which is called the main beams. There's some diagonal beams for stability as well.
And so you go ahead, you place your delta beams, you go ahead and locate them, you shoot them with a prism, make sure that you're at your right pitch, your angle, make sure the elevation's correct. Then you'll set your other delta beam, do the same works, and then you infill with your main beams. And so that then becomes the structure of your climate ribbon.
And the other 2 components, when you look up, one is the glass.
The glass was extremely challenging. We're bringing it from overseas. If we don't have the proper size or we have a panel that breaks, we have to go all the way back to Austria.
And the last component is basically what we call the blades. Structural steel frame at different angles, and it is wrapped with a fabric that actually comes from Italy.
So this climate ribbon protects everybody from sun. The glass is fritted, which has little spots on it, which what it will do is absorb some of the sunlight so that you don't have the full radiant heat transferring through.
Wherever you stand underneath the climate ribbon, between the fritted glass and the angle of the blades, that you don't ever really have direct sunlight.
This is the first time a structural glass canopy this magnitude has been done.
So just for the camera, where are you guys from?
Miami Beach.
We're from Miami Beach. And so what do you think about the city?
We love it. Never left it.
I got space for the forklift in that little corner.
The hardest part is climbing up and being up there. That's the hardest part. Other than that, everything else is just an everyday operation.
The heat is another obstacle. I've been on nights, so it's still hot, but no sun.
Eric, we're gonna fly 2 more glass racks from the upper level.
Alright, 10-4.
The architect had quite an imagination when he decided to draw this one up. We've got a lot of angles and pitches in all different directions, north, south, east, west. And to stack 800 pounds of glass, 600 pounds of glass on a steep pitch, running 2 different ways was a trick, it was a challenge.
So we had to put all the delta beams up first. It's the outside of it. Then all the main beams got filled in along with the diagonals, all the steel. Then we have to start hanging blades up underneath.
The way we get them up in the air, each piece is different. Each piece gotta be rolled and it's gonna be picked up in certain ways. You gotta make sure that it don't touch with nothing, but all this is finished product, so anything touches is damages. So everything has to be perfect in the money.
Very delicate.
Very delicate work.
You gotta finesse everything.
Everything has to be, before you bring it up in the air, the piece has to be already how you want it.
The leans are past the 45, some of them it looks like. So hanging on, trying to get your glass in there and secure, hanging on to your tools yourself. It's almost like a boat, you need one hand for yourself, you know.
You got some steep angles that they are very uncomfortable, and then you have other areas where it's easy to work, but yeah, the steep angles are very, very, very hard to work with.
Not many people could do this kind of job. You have to have experience.
Most of it is rigging in this job. Right? You gotta know your rigging.
And you can't be scared of height.
Height.
We're 100% towel. So getting to, we use rope grabs. You'll use high lines and different things to tie off to, but we 100% tie off.
We make sure that my fellow worker, as well as everyone around us, is safely up there and is well fit to be up there.
Yeah, they're a good group of guys. It's a special type to come out here and do this work. We got iron workers, we got painters, we have glazers that do the glass, so everybody's got to work together.
Extreme schedule. But we've been able to keep together. We've got a good crew of guys, and everybody likes each other, able to come in happy and leave safe every day, and it's been good. A lot of hours though. Looking forward to the end.
We take a lot of pride in our work. Everywhere we go, we take pride in what we do, and this is one of the best jobs we ever done.
You know, so we like it. We walk in the streets, we hear people pointing at it. We see people looking, and they're like, "Look how nice it is." So we're like, "Hey, we did that."
How do I explain it? They're like waves of blades. Different, I wish I had a picture. Oh, there you go. If you notice over here, a bunch of different blades, we call those the blades. And that's what moves the wind in through the climate ribbon and into the retail area to make it nice and comfortable for everybody to be in.
It's artistic, that's for sure. I mean, just looking at it is very surprising, very architectural, very pleasing to look at. But it's got more than just the architectural facet to it. It's designed to be able to draw in the ocean breeze.
In every city, wherever you're at, all the buildings create a tunnel effect. We're creating a tunnel effect with the high-rises we have on this project alone, along with the other high-rises in the area, create this massive tunnel effect, and you have wind shooting through all buildings.
The blades themselves are like, I guess the parallel would be the wing of an airplane, and a big airplane at that. Some of these blades are in excess of 50 feet long, 10 feet deep.
They'll follow the flow of the climate ribbon, and what they do is they capture the air that's coming, the breeze is coming off of Biscayne Bay, and they channel it through the open air areas of the retail component, which will allow a cooling breeze so that any heat rises is immediately pulled away. And as heat rises and is pulled away, other air comes across and takes its place, and that creates this convective cooling effect.
And basically cooling down the people doing the shopping, the shoppers, without having an air conditioning system.
Typically on the ends, they, for the most part, pocket up or shoot up, which definitely helps with grabbing that wind. And then the orientation and the curves of the blades just allow it to flow where we want it to throughout the retail.
When we first looked at the drawings of it, there's obviously a lot of engineering that went to this. There were wind tunnel tests.
And also they took into account that Miami, it has issues with hurricanes. So basically the system is beefed up structurally to sustain 180 miles per hour winds.
It will be the first time that something like this has been developed and implemented physically in a shopping center. It will be the one and only, once off, and the first in its kind.
Well, its primary function, of course, is, and by design, is to shade the concourse.
And then on a rainy day, it shields the entire complex from rain. And then that rain is collected by the climate ribbon and channeled to large cistern tanks or large holding tanks.
But we're collecting all that water and we're reusing that water for landscaping, irrigation.
And to be used to feed some of the AC system, actually all of the AC systems in the project.
We're capturing the water, reusing it, and it's an estimated 3 million gallons of water expected a year, which is a huge number.
Environmental sustainability is a core value of Americaribe and of Bouygues, our parent company. We're always looking at sustainable measures that we can implement on a project.
We always try to have the most up-to-date ways of construction, the best products out there right now.
The great thing about Americaribe is that we have a network of global procurement sources. So whatever we can find locally or within the US, we can tap into our global resources.
I mean, they have so many people. They're so talented in so many different aspects of construction.
It's first of its kind, a challenging project, and it's something that Americaribe does like, to do something new and to show to the client and to the owners and to the public that yes, we can take on a challenge, something that has not been done before, something that's special, and find a way to make it succeed.
We're standing on top of the newly renovated MDT station for the Miami Metro Mover. And this is one of the access points for the retail area.
Anywhere Metro Mover accesses, you can hop on for free and take this stop to go shopping at Brickell City Centre or access a hotel. So here, that would be your Delta Beam. This is kind of a neat area because this is not final construction. This is final for phase 1 of Brickell City Centre. But when phase 2 happens, they will remove this piece and connect Climate Ribbon from the second tower to Brickell City Centre. You have a wind tunnel effect from all the towers around. So your winds are coming off of your ocean or the trade winds, funneling through all your towers. You have an open pocket right here covered by Climate Ribbon. So the winds or Climate Ribbon will harness those winds and transfer them through all blocks with the orientation of the blades. So we're walking on level 3 going west, Brickell City Centre. This would where we would exit the Metro Mover and enter onto the outdoor shopping retail area. So as you see, we're on the center point of level 3 outdoor retail, East Block. It's the transition point of Climate Ribbon. You look up, you have your 90-degree blades, turning both corners, redirecting the wind to shoot it either going north or continue to flow going east. And as you look down your long runs, you've got an open area up top. We can harness the wind coming in from that side. You've got an open area on North Block. We can harness that wind as well, along with east coming off the Metro Mover. So you've kind of got the focal, the center point, all 3 blocks. So it may not, just because it's an east wind, it may not only enter from the east. So you may have some coming from the north, so you just create a cool atmosphere as the wind flows throughout.
When the blades were designed, they were designed in a way to take into consideration where the sun is at different times of the year to provide the most shade underneath. So as you can see on the north section is based on sun that would be coming later in the day. So this is the bridge that's crossing over South Miami Avenue.
So as you travel southbound on South Miami, this is South Miami River or Miami River. Coming over the bridge, you get a great view of the overall project. Not only the buildings, but you have a tremendous view of the Climate Ribbon. Not only do we harness the wind or catch the winds on the east, west, and north ends, we also catch it from all the bridges, this being one of them. This is our east to west block bridge. And so if you have a wind that's coming from the south, you're really going to catch it in the blades because of their orientation to the south and harness that wind and direct it going east and west. So we're on West Block now. Looking west at the condo, you can see how the Climate Ribbon flares up, giving it a beautiful shot from the amenities deck. Climate Ribbon flares up, catching the wind flowing around the condo, around the tower. So we're going into Living at East. This is a hotel on East Block. So this will be a restaurant in the hotel, level 5 we're on right now. Not only is it a great spot to dine at, but you're at your transition of Climate Ribbon. You really see the curves of the blades and the artistic look of the Climate Ribbon. So as you see, your open ends on the east, that's over to MDT, Metro Mover. You got your open ends fanning up over on the west block. You got an open end which you can't really see at north block. You're at the transition point. You've got these huge 90s, which are some of the larger blades because you've got this airflow coming in from all sides. These 90s really direct the airflow to each different block as it comes in.
Okay, right now we're facing north. So this was where the construction started on this section right here at the bottom of the T. And then we were able to work in both east and west and also north off of this central axis. The blades had to start at the 90 and then start moving out at this area, whereas at the straighter areas, it's one side and then they move along. The most difficult part is actually the construction of the blades. It's a metal framing with a PTFE membrane stretched over it. So the straighter pieces, they were able to do that in their warehouse. The larger 90 degrees they had to do on site because of the transportation of getting those larger pieces here. They wouldn't fit on a truck under the overpasses.
You have climate ribbon not only emits the sun, but the steep slopes cause an abundance of water to run.
We're able to harvest the water that's coming off the climate ribbon for storage and use in landscaping, irrigation.
You have this massive gutter that will collect this portion of the water, bring it to your 8-inch downspout, which will then come down into a trough area along the office. We'll have a curb creating a wall here. We'll have a curb built up 2 feet to create a wall, and you'll have water just flowing along the whole south side of the office, creating a trough to just capture all the water or harness all the water and feed down into the cisterns below. So right now we're level 25, the northwest corner of East Hotel. We're looking west. This is West Condo, West Block, W1 unit. You see the shape of it. We shoot west towards the amenities deck, flare up at the amenities deck to create a great view. Going north, shooting towards, this is North Block, North Condo, going over the bridge portion. And as you can see, it's really ties Brickell City Centre into one. It adds a very high-end luxury feel to where you're staying or living.
How hard have you guys worked on this project?
Off camera, too hard. We worked.
It's been a long journey.
Hours on hours on. The climate ribbon has been running 24/7 since New Year's. So we've been nonstop throughout day and night, just putting in hours to try to close out this project on time.
It makes you feel part of something bigger. You're not just in, a standalone hotel or a standalone condominium. You're part of this whole project, this city center.
What is most satisfying at the end, now that the climate ribbon is basically finished, is to be able to acknowledge and to see where we started off with and where we ended.
And say, we solved this, we did that, we made it better. It feels good.
We don't get into this business to do things that are easy. We like the things that are a challenge. So doing hard stuff and succeeding at it is what's fun.
We specialize in these complicated projects. We thrive on these kind of projects.
The people that you see here today they picked this job to come in and do it themselves. Not only the companies, they picked them. They wanted to be part of it.
It's a very exciting piece for the city of Miami. It's a redefining piece for the city of Miami. So who wouldn't want to be part of that?
So certainly for me, this is interesting. Very interesting bunch of people that I've been working with. And yes, it's transformative in Miami.
It's a first-class operation, first-class design, first-class installation, first-class cost. All of that is what we provide to the owner.
I'm so excited, our team is so excited, we're all just so excited to bring this new world of shopping for America. This really is what Brickell City Centre does.